Hey guys, it's me, G-Man. Welcome to my podcast, right here on Griffin Radio. Enjoy! Hey there, Griffins! You're listening to G-Man right here on Griffin Radio, whatever you're doing around the world in this quarantined life. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not already done so, please subscribe and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell there at the bottom. We are now moving all of our content to YouTube for now and recorded programs on the TuneIn app. So smash that like button for more content and comment below your name and where you're from so you can get a shout out. Hey guys, so welcome to my third podcast right here on the Quarantine Life. I've been having fun making these podcasts and I hope that you guys are enjoying it. If you haven't listened to my first two, please do so if you have the time. I'd surely appreciate that. And I would like to give a big shout out to my sister, my youngest older sister. Her name is Giann. She currently lives in Hawaii. Yes. The island state, the rainbow state. She turns 14 on April 24, which was yesterday. I'm recording this podcast on the 25th. Her birthday was on the 24th. And so happy birthday to you, sis. I'm so proud of you, of what you've accomplished in school. And I do wish you the best in high school. She's headed to high school next year, so very excited for that, and I love you so much, and I hope to see you again soon. They're on an island right now. They're under quarantine just like the rest of us. So she's having a quarantine birthday right now, and I hope you enjoy your cake. I did see that cake. I FaceTimed her earlier, and they did have one heck of a cake there. Really love cake. I love ice cream cake too. That's my favorite. I would also like to give a big shout out to my auntie all the way from Toronto, Canada, eh? So, Tita Cecil Di Mabuyo, I would like to give a shout out to my auntie. Tita means auntie in Filipino. And it was her birthday on Easter. Yes, Easter Sunday. And we FaceTimed together and she wanted me to give her a shout out. So here you go. There's your shout out, Tita. So congratulations. And a belated happy birthday to you as well. So yeah, lots of birthdays during this quarantine right now. And so however you're celebrating, which is over Zoom or maybe a drive-by at someone's house, there's plenty of ways that people are celebrating their birthdays, which is very unique right now in this time. And so happy birthday to you guys, and I hope you guys have a bigger and better celebration after the quarantine's over. So there you go. All right, so it's been very warm lately, guys. I don't know if you live in the San Diego area, you may have noticed. Yes, it's been very warm, and today I think we reached the highs in the low 90s today, as I've reported. Yes, on Griffin News. Almost a week ago, we were predicting this, and it did come true. It's been very hot lately, especially inside of the house. And so when it comes to warm weather, of course, I'm not really a fan of it. I don't want it to be too hot, yet again, too cold. So I just want it, to be right. Like 75 is good for me. I enjoy that. Or 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. That's the type of weather that I personally enjoy. But today we encountered something much different. We reached the low 90s. So what I don't like about the hot weather is that this is the time of year when all the snakes come out. Okay, let's be honest. I really hate snakes. Okay, those are my biggest fears. I just don't like looking at them. I don't trust them at all. You don't know what's venomous or not. And so I have like a very interesting story that I want to tell you guys and get to right now. So last year, during the summer, of course, that's the hottest time of the year, obviously. But, we were in the 90s, of course, 80s, something like that. It was very muggy that night. And, of course, at night, we open all the windows and the doors. And I kid you not, we have this little, there's this little opening underneath our screen that, that could let in, a little bit of critters here and there. Lizards came into our house and all that. Little insects come in as well. Those little earwigs, those pinchers too. There's been a lot of those lately, by the way. But anyway, last year we encountered something very different and something new and something frightening, something that I won't forget. So this snake slithered. I don't know how it went inside the house, but I'm pretty sure it's the opening. But it slithered its way into our front door, and it was just hanging out there inside of her house near the front door. And I saw it. Good thing I saw it because I was sitting at the dining table. And this is what happened. So I was doing my homework. I decided to, stand up and just stretch because I've been sitting down for such a long time. And by the grace of God, yeah, by the grace of God, good thing I stood up and stretched. I managed to look. I don't know. I just randomly looked at the front door, and then right there at the bottom on the floor was a snake, a literal snake. It was a real snake. And I don't know what kind of snake it was. I think for those of you who are into animals, it was like a black and yellow snake. And so it had those stripes, black and yellow. I'm not sure if it's just a regular garden snake or some kind of, I don't know, non-poisonous snake. I couldn't tell if it was poisonous or not. I'm not an expert in that. But what I do know for sure is that I don't trust any snake, okay? Just please, okay? Whether it's poisonous or not, I don't care. Please get that away from me. Amen. So I told my uncle, I was with him at the time inside the house, and, I would think that he would be, brave enough to, take it out. I don't know how. So, so this is what we did. This is what he did, actually. He took, I don't know what he did. I think he took, a broom and tried to, attack it with that. I don't think that would be the best idea. I don't know how you guys catch snakes, or I don't know what the method is behind it. But, I told him, why don't we just call animal control and let them take care of it? Or if that doesn't work out, let's just call our neighbor. Our neighbor's a snake man. He's used to the snakes. He's like, I don't know, he's that Australian, wildlife guy. I forgot what his name is. Steve Irwin? Our neighbor's kind of like the Steve Irwin of our street. So, anyway, I was like, please, uncle, can you just please call our neighbor just to, take him out, try to, figure out if this is poisonous or not. So, anyway, I know the story's long. So, anyway, I was just freaking out. I didn't know what to do. I was panicking. Something that I probably should not have done. And my uncle, he attacked the snake with a broom. It's one of those, strong brooms, not the soft ones, but the one with the strong bristles. It attacked it constantly. He even went on the pool table and attacked it from there. And because it slithered its way into the middle of the living room near our sliding door. And so he just kept attacking it over and over again until it finally gave up and died. Oh, no! I'm so sorry. Rest in peace. But anyway, it was just a surreal moment, and that I'll never forget. And it was just so scary because you wouldn't think anything would happen like that. But it happened to me. It happened to us. And, we were thinking of different methods of, being assisted by, trying to get rid of this thing. And so it died. He attacked it. And it was a small snake. And so it wasn't a rattlesnake, that's for sure. Nothing was rattling. But, it was just scary because what happens if I didn't stand and stretch at that moment just to see that there's a snake there? It would have slithered right underneath my desk, through my legs, through my feet. And it would have been a very scary moment at that point if it happened. And so I was just freaking out. I was like, oh my goodness, if I did not stand up within probably a couple minutes, then that snake would have just bitten me. Don't care if it was poisonous or not. Doesn't matter. I would have just had a freak out at that moment. And, we live up on a hill in Lakeside here in the suburbs of San Diego County. And things could get pretty interesting up here. We've seen, little scorpions up here. We've seen, of course, snakes. We've seen all kinds of animals up here. Of course, the coyotes, they howl at night. And, this is a pretty active area for animals and critters. And so that was definitely quite the experience. And yeah, that's my story about the snake. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Anyway, if you do see a snake, calm down. That's the best thing because panic is the last thing that you would want to react to. All right, so what else did I do over the past week? Well, I got my van washed finally. I went to the car wash, went through the automatic car wash thing, of course, socially distant from other people. And I went out to take some video for our other classes, for our news reports regarding about the current virus situation right now with everything under quarantine and the streets being empty and all that. So I took pretty much random video at our local park here at Lindo Lake Park in Lakeside. And I just took video of pretty much an empty park. Really not that many people there. Some people were, riding their bikes, their skateboards, walking their dogs, jogging and all that. But with everything right now, you can't really stay put in one place. Otherwise, the park rangers would tell you to leave and get up and start moving again because that's the rule at the parks. You can't hang out and congregate. So I took video of people, some people walking, jogging and stuff like that. It was fun being out, to experience nature like what we do here. Encouraging you guys to get out and enjoy the sunshine and enjoy nature. And yes, that is still legal to do. So I just pretty much, that's what I did all weekend long, take video for our projects. And we also did numerous podcasts with Giovanni and Sarah in the morning. So very exciting because we had two special guests so far on our show. Alex Lavanos, a local break artist here in San Diego, and Thomas Meyer, who is a musician here in San Diego as well, who is also good friends with Alex Lavanos. And we interviewed him a couple nights ago, and also Alex as well. Both of those podcasts will be up. Actually, they're already up on our YouTube page, so you can check it out after this and listen to our podcast with Giovanni and Sarah in the morning with Thomas Meyer and Alex Lavanos, both separate podcasts. So we just posted the Thomas one today, the 25th of April, and I hope you guys tune in and listen to that because it's all online and ready to listen to. So very proud of those podcasts and the work that we're doing there. And yeah, big shout out to Sarah, my teammate right here, go team, as we continue to do our shows virtually. It's been a challenge because of the Wi-Fi. And so, as you know, we FaceTime each other as we do the podcast. And it could be very hard because, if one person's lagging on their Wi-Fi, it's hard to really keep track of the recorded audio. And so that happened with Charisse, actually, because we also had another guest on our show. Charisse, actually, she's not a guest. She's actually part of the show already. We're just randomly, doing podcasts with her friends. But that was also fun having Charisse on our show as well. Shout out to her. If you guys haven't already, please listen to her podcast with Thomas from our station. And they did what's called Griffin Goalpost. It is a podcast that they also released a couple days ago. So listen to that as well, to sports podcasts. So if you're into sports, that's definitely the podcast to listen to right now. Despite not really that much happening in sports, they do manage to talk a lot about it as time goes on. So great job on the podcast there, guys. Shout out to you. And yeah, very exciting podcast coming up ahead because we have a very special guest coming on to our future podcast that we'll be posting here on the YouTube channel very soon. His name is, oh, you know what? I'm going to save his name for later because this is a big surprise. He is a local DJ here in San Diego, and he is a DJ on Z90.3 FM from Local Media San Diego. Yes, we still do intern with them, technically, but we don't go there anymore because of the quarantine. But he will be on our show, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to that. Also, we will be getting up content on the TuneIn app this week, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't downloaded the TuneIn app, please do. It's free, and you can search Griffin Radio there in the search bar once you download the TuneIn app, and you can listen to us live streaming for free. And all of the programs that you hear on there, if you ever do, besides music, will all be recorded and not live because obviously we are not at school doing it. And so we'll record the programs and we'll get it up there so you guys can listen to it. We'll also be releasing music shows as well and doing air checks. So that's very exciting. Other than that, I've been going through the admission process through SDSU. As you guys probably don't know, I'll be going to SDSU in the fall of this year. Don't know if we will be going virtual this year, but hopefully not, so that I can experience the school in person. So that's very exciting. Of course, I'm going through the admin process right now with everything that's going on. Everything's virtual right now with the welcome of all the students coming in. And so great job, SDSU, for welcoming us in virtually. And yes, of course, I accepted my intent to enroll, and I'll be an Aztec in the fall of this year. So that's very exciting. Thank you to you guys for congratulating me on that accomplishment, and that's a big accomplishment, so very proud of it, and I can't wait. Hopefully I could go there in person this fall. All right, so as we move on here on G-Man, the podcast number 3 right here in the Quarantine Life, I'll be talking to you guys about the services that Grossmont College students need to know. Pretty much, if you are a student at Grossmont College and you want to know about the resources that they are currently offering for this week, the week ahead, and probably the month ahead, this is the perfect place, the perfect podcast to tune into. So I'll be announcing pretty much like virtual events that Grossmont is offering. So here we go, guys. Are you ready? Yeah, take a pen in case you want to write anything of this down, or you can always rewind the podcast. So Grossmont College is offering what's called a virtual student success fair. So fear not, that's what they say. They've scheduled 2 additional virtual student success fairs next week, including one in the evening. So you'll be able to hear from various departments about updates and resources and be able to talk about questions as well. So what you can do is you can RSVP and join them next week on April 28 and 29. So here we go. If you want to attend a virtual student success fair, they will have one on April 28th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. or the next day on April 29 from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. They have a link on their webpage on Facebook, and you can RSVP through the bit.ly link. Or what you can do is you can text your name to 619-738-1136. Again, that's 619-738-1136 to get more information. They will probably send you a link to the Zoom, and then you can join their success fair and you can ask questions and learn about how the student services department can continue to support you as they continue to transition to a virtual campus. So what you will do is you will receive real-time information and updates and get your questions answered. How fun. So that's one of their events. Another events that they're having is called Success Coaches. So Grossmont College Success Coaches are available to help you navigate through the many resources offered to students and to support you with strategies for being successful in your classes. So do you need to strengthen your time management and organization skills? Do you have a question or a concern that is affecting your ability to do well in school, but not sure who to ask for help? What you can do is contact them today, or you may visit their website at www.grossmont.edu/successcoach. Or you can send a text to 619-738-3380. Or you can email them at grossmont.successcoach@gcccd.edu. Or you can schedule your virtual appointment on WCON line. And about this Coach Success event is that you'll be able to talk to coaches virtually, one-on-one online. So if you can create a WCON line account to schedule a video or a chat appointment with them today, their link is also posted there on Facebook as well. Or, of course, you can go and visit the website that I mentioned. And they will be sharing tips for being successful in your online classes and connect you with the right resources to help support your success at Grossmont. So if you'll be attending Grossmont next semester and the semesters ahead, this is definitely a great resource to consider. Another event that they'll be having is called a Virtual Super Saturday. So are you planning to start college in the fall of 2020? Yes, like what I mentioned. So get a head start and stay on the right path and be on the first. Be the first to register for classes by completing all of the required steps in time. Luckily, Super Saturday is happening twice in May to assist you with completing the orientation, placement, or assessment, and advising all in one day. How convenient. You can sign up through the link at tiny.cc/V Super Saturday. Their link is also on Facebook, and you'll receive a Zoom ID to be able to attend the event. So if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask them. So to give you more information about when this will be, it'll be on May 2nd or May 30th for the fall of 2020. And you'll be able to sign up right there. They have a flyer, and I am on the flyer. My face is on there in the top right-hand corner. You'll see me. And you will definitely save time, attend and begin full or part-time classes for fall of 2020. You'll be able to meet with a counselor to create an educational plan. And of course, you'll be able to get priority registration for the first-time college student. So that is definitely something to consider as well. Again, that is a virtual Super Saturday at Grossmont College. Last but not the least, happening at Grossmont College, they'll be having what's called a coffee with a doctor. So in this case, this is pretty much like a live virtual Zoom meeting and with a doctor to answer all of your coronavirus questions. So here's more information about it. So check out this free webinar by Dr. Hala Madanat, who is the director and professor for the San Diego State University School of Public Health, and Dr. Jennifer Tutuer, who is the Deputy Chief Medical Officer with the County of San Diego. So here you'll find out why social distancing is important and how you can help to flatten the curve and why it matters. So it will begin on Monday, April 27 at 10 a.m. and you can register at the link there provided, also posted on Grossmont's official Facebook page. So this webinar is provided in partnership with the County of San Diego and SDSU and the Association of Schools and Programs of Public Health. Very cool information there. Again, coffee with a doctor, and all of that information is posted onto their Facebook page. Very exciting. All right, guys, so moving on now with my next segment. This is one of my favorite segments that I do right here on G-Man, is that I like to mention all of the good news that's happening, not just here locally and nationally, but all around the world. And as you know, I went out to go to the park and take some video for one of my projects. And I saw these two people. They were parked on the side of the road, and they were giving away free food. Yeah, you heard that right. Free food, probably to any kids right now that are going hungry because they're unable to go to school and get lunch there. And so at Lindo Lake Park here in Lakeside, we're a small town, but it does get busy around here, not gonna lie. But there's been a lot of good people, helping out, good neighbors helping out as well. And I saw it a couple days ago when these people, they had like a table out, and they had a whole bunch of food there that they can just pass out to anyone who's hungry, anyone who's pretty much passing by. And I passed by them, and they asked me if I was hungry, if I wanted any food, and I kindly said no, because I'm not like craving. I wasn't craving for anything. I wanted to save the food for people who are hungrier than I am. So I wasn't really in the need, but I did thank them for what they do. And I told them, I appreciate what you guys do. That you guys are good stewards to this community, and you are loved. And I love them so much for just going out there and, risking, their health so they can pass out food to random strangers. And that is just so beautiful to see that these good things are happening in our community. And I applaud them so much. So, a big shout out to the man and the woman. I don't know if they were a couple or not, but they parked on the side of the road. They were on the sidewalk, and they had this table set up, and they were just giving away food to anyone who was hungry, and of course the kids on the street too who are hungry as well. So, big shout out to you guys. God bless you guys. You guys are the reason why I have faith in humanity. And so there you go. Also, if you guys didn't hear about this, it was on the news. What they did, what these local like pilots did, they have these like little Cessna airplanes that they fly out of like Montgomery Field there near Mira Mesa, and they did what's called a flyby. So what they do is they go out with, of course, other friends who have planes, and they do like a flyby over local area hospitals for healthcare workers. Isn't that fun? So what they had, like, it's kind of like, in the air show when they have these this type of like steam that comes out of the airplane. It's kind of like this powdery thing, and it's colored, with like different colors for every airplane. I don't know what it's called. I have no words for that. But they had that going on. They had all kinds of colors coming out of these airplanes. They did a flyby almost over every hospital that you could think of in the San Diego area, just to thank our healthcare workers for what they do. Isn't that amazing? So several pilots like took the skies over San Diego's local hospitals on Friday to show their appreciation for medical workers, and I think that's totally awesome. And the healthcare workers, they do appreciate everything that all of the thankfulness that's happening right now, and they're so thankful that we are here to thank them for what they do, and that we just want to let them know that we're thinking about them. And so shout out to the pilots for doing that, and for using their planes as gratitude to say thank you to our medical workers, our nurses, our doctors, anyone who's in the front lines right now, doing this and helping out amidst a crisis like this, is just amazing. So thank you guys for what you do, and I just want to let you know that you are appreciated and that we love you so much. Also, here's more good news, whether you like him or not. President Trump, he signed a $484 billion aid relief bill to help small businesses and hospitals under stress from the pandemic, so that they could also increase testing for COVID-19, so that they can have more testing kits as well. So this $484 billion relief bill, will go straight to business owners who are under stress right now because of COVID, and that they had to close because of everything. And so it's very hard being a small business owner right now, because they are most heavily impacted in terms of the business world. And these local businesses, they are the reason why our local communities thrive. They're one of the reasons why the money goes through our towns and our cities. And because of that, we're able to enjoy what the services that they provide to us, whether it's food, or whether it's a barber where you can get your hair cut. I know salons and barbers are closed right now because of that, and so they are impacted by it. And they're forced to close down because of all this. And so with this relief bill that President Trump signed, hopefully it'll help out small businesses and also hospitals to get more care and more necessities and supplies like masks, gloves, respirators, and all of that. Everything that they basically need, so that they can treat patients, and so that the influx of people, declines as much as possible. And so that they can take care of the people now, treat them, recover, and so that they can go back home and go on with their lives. And so hopefully it'll ease the stress with this $1 billion aid relief bill. So definitely good stuff there, and hopefully the money gets put into good use. All right, so moving on now. More good news. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but
some beaches will be reopening. Some have already did reopen. And so shout out to IB, Imperial Beach. They just opened up their beaches again. However, there will be some restrictions, like face coverings and ban on group activities. So you would still have to be socially distant. But the good news is that you'll be able to still go to the beach, walk along the shoreline. The thing is, you can't hang out and you can't stop where you are. You have to keep walking. But hey, we are opening up very slowly but surely, which is good. It'll just take time and it'll take a lot of patience. So, there are more beaches that will be opening and there are already that have. And so, let's just continue to do what we're doing, staying at home and flattening the curve. And as soon as you know it, things will start slowly opening back up in phases. So, yeah, just continue to do what you're doing, and the reward will come at the end, I promise. And we'll all get through this together, guys. Also, parks are slowly opening up as well. If you guys didn't know about that, not sure exactly what parks, but there are parks across San Diego County that are easing the restrictions right now, opening them up, and still abiding by those rules of being socially distant. And so hopefully you guys can go to the park and enjoy nature, because that's not illegal. You can still go and enjoy the nature. And that's the best part about it. And hopefully that'll ease your stress and ease your anxiety. Also, another good news is, whether you like him or not, Governor Newsom lifted restrictions on surgical procedures that were initially put on hold because of the pandemic. And so, what the governor did here of California is that if anyone had a procedure that was originally scheduled, let's say you had a broken leg or something and you needed to get it if you need that's a bad example, but anyway, if you had a surgical procedure, it could be anything that needed to be done but it was postponed, now it's been reopened and you'll be able to get that service from your doctor. So that's a good thing happening right now as we're slowly opening back up. Here's another one. Giving sense of normalcy to seniors. So what it is that a local DJ is hosting what's called a virtual prom for San Diego high school and college seniors who will miss their big event due to the pandemic. So when I'm talking about seniors, I'm talking about not seniors as in 80, 90-year-olds. I'm talking about high school and college seniors that were planning to graduate this year but are unable to because of the pandemic. So this local DJ is hosting a virtual prom night. I know it'll not be the same as an actual prom night, but hey, it's something, and I applaud him for doing that. Not sure exactly what his name is, but it's sweet. It's really sweet what he's doing. And trying to spread joy to high school and college seniors who are graduating. So good stuff there. Also, here's another good news happening. So Gigi Bryant, who is the daughter of Kobe and Vanessa Bryant, she was named honorary draft pick for the 2020 WNBA. Congratulations, Gigi. So Vanessa Bryant, who's the wife of Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, said in a bittersweet post, "You did it." So congratulations to her for being named the honorary draft pick for the 2020 Women's National Basketball Association. So awesome news, great news, positive news. I love it. All right, guys, so moving on to my next segment here. It's called Anything Else That I Found on the Internet That I Wanted to Share. So in this segment, I'll be talking about interesting things over the week that I want to share with you guys that probably you may have not known, but is also interesting at the same time to know. So did you know that all of San Diego County right now has enforced a mandatory face covering thing? So what it is that you are now required to wear anything that covers your face and your nose when you're out and about in public, because of course the current situation happening right now. And so don't know how long that's gonna last, but hopefully they will also take that out sooner than later, because I can't stand like wearing a mask for that long out there. But I understand the safety that we have to go through, so that, for prevention measures, of course, and for health and safety purposes. So that's what San Diego County did. At first, it was in National City in Chula Vista. That's where it was mandated. And then now it's pretty much the whole county. So hopefully you guys wear your masks when you're out there, out and about, when you're running errands, doing shopping. Make sure you do that for safety purposes. And so that's what I found out. Also, what I found out that I thought was interesting is how we will open up the country again. Now, all of this will not happen overnight, that's for sure. And it differs between states, because California, the way we will reopen is different from Kansas, for example. I'm just using that as an example. I'm saying that because in terms of population wise, and so with everything going on right now, we will open up very slowly but surely. It's just that we won't open up everything, overnight. It'll be a gradual process. And so the way that they're going to do this is that it depends on each state and their governors, how they choose to open up their states. There are already some states that are open. I heard Georgia is now opening back up for business. That's different from New York or California, which I think will be one of the last to open up due to our population. And so with states that have the least populated areas and the least cases, they will definitely start opening up sooner than later than us here in California. And so I think opening up in phases is a better idea than opening everything up at once, because we still want to be careful and cautious about the rate be aware of the rate and the spread of COVID. And it'll take time. It will take time, but it'll be a gradual process, and it'll just be slowly but surely. So what they do is they release it in phases. There's like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1, from what I've heard, is that they'll start opening up the beaches and the parks. That's the important part. We need people to get out there and enjoy the sun and enjoy nature, obviously. And phase 2 would probably be the restaurants and the bars, in downtown or whatnot. And they'll just be opening up those areas slowly. But I think they'll start just letting people in, not in large groups. Maybe it'll still be like socially distant, but they'll still technically be open to make money so that they can continue their revenue. And then phase 3 would probably be like everything else, like from gyms to local playgrounds and all that. And easing the restrictions probably at grocery stores. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but that's the plan. They do these things in phases. And I think it differs in every state, though. And it depends on local leaders and how they want to approach this. And so hopefully they can come up with a resolution to try to open up back the country again. And hopefully we will get back to complete normalcy. I'm really hoping for that. Because there's a question, like, how much is our government, going to, ease us from these restrictions? How much will we get back? Will it be the whole thing, or will they still be holding back some mandated restrictions as soon as this virus passes through? And I think we can't really do much until we get a vaccine or until we become immune to it. And so it's really hard to really approach how, if you're a leader of a country, how are you going to open up your country again? And so it depends, because, you're receiving backlash on both ends. People are saying, oh my gosh, why are you opening up? Why this is too early? Don't open up now. And then you've got people who are saying, please open it back up. We need to work again, blah, blah, blah. We need to do this. We need to do that. And so, there's people on both sides arguing about this now. No matter what side you're on, it's still politics, and it's hard. It is really hard when you're getting backlash on both ends, and you're trying to figure out a way to really find common ground here with, all of the local leaders and our politicians to try to open up the country. And so it's a complicated process, but I hope it gets done sooner than later, so that they can find a resolution, get through this. Let's get along, please. And, let's try to get back to normalcy as soon as we can. Hopefully when the virus ends, when it does ever end. And so that's what I found interesting that I've read over the week. Also, if you guys didn't know this, there's been an increase in gun sales because of everything that's going on. And it's scary because, you got to defend yourself in case, something happens. You never know how this will come to, because we are in a world full of uncertainty at this point. And it's just, really difficult to predict what's going to happen in the future. So everyone's been pretty much getting stocked up with toilet paper and all, but getting ready to defend themselves in case they need to. So they buy guns, and there's been an increase in gun sales. So that's what I've heard. People have been lining up to buy guns to protect themselves in case anything happens, which I hope they don't ever need to use the guns. But, it's for protection in case they want to, because of all the hoarding that's going on right now with certain essential items. So there's that. A little dark, but that's what's been happening lately. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that there's been an increase in gun sales. Also, this would be a great time to support local businesses. So as I've mentioned in the previous segment, there are businesses right now getting pretty much money from the government, so it's that they can ease the stress happening right now to continue with their businesses, so that they don't end up closing down and filing up for bankruptcy. So this would be a great time to support local restaurants who do takeout, so that they can continue to make revenue for themselves and for their employees and their company. And that's very important to do right now, to support local businesses as much as possible. Also, something interesting that I want to point out is the conspiracy theories surrounding about the COVID-19 situation. Of course, I don't want to get too into it because there's a lot to talk about in there. But one of the conspiracy theories is that 5G towers are the ones that are causing the coronavirus itself, which is, I don't think that's true, in my opinion. That's just me personally, but there's a conspiracy that these new 5G towers that are being implemented in our neighborhoods, in our surroundings, in our regional areas, is what's causing pretty much the virus. I don't know how. Maybe it's through electromagnetic fields, maybe around the towers, because now that the signal is much stronger, there's a higher chance of being cancerous, that'll affect your brain and your body and all that. And so that's like one of the theories there. I don't believe that at all, but I'm just mentioning it. Another theory is that this virus was created because China wanted to control their population and spread a virus around the world intentionally. And so there's another one for you. Not going to get too much into it, but there it is. And it's for you to decide. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think about these theories, whether it's true or not. We never know, but it's out there and people are talking about it. So there's that. Also, moving on now. Ooh, this is my favorite. So there's this comedian. Her name is Monique Marvez. So last spring break last year, I went on a cruise. That was my very first cruise with my family. And there was this comedian on board. She had a show every night. Her name is Monique Marvez, and oh my gosh, she's amazing. So she's a Latina, and she's kind of like the George Carlin of of comedic. I would say the comedic performance. In terms of comedic performance, like she's kind of like the female version of George Carlin. I don't know if you know who George Carlin is, but he was a comedian. He passed away, but he's so funny. If you search him up on YouTube and watch his videos of him doing his performances, they're so true and so funny, but at the same time they're like making fun of us. He's like making fun of like of the people in the audience, but they don't realize it. And but at the same time you're learning something from them. So it's not just a comedic performance just so you can laugh. It's something that you can learn from, and that this is what Monique does. And after her performance the night before we left, I was able to meet her in person, and I had a picture with her, and she was so sweet, so kind, and it was a great night. And if you want to search her up on YouTube so you can look at what she does, her name is Monique Marvez, Monique, and then last name is Marvez, Marvez. And she's, I don't know, despite her being like a middle-aged lady, a middle-aged woman, like I'm so into her talents and what she does, because she is just so authentic, so real, and everything that she points out is just so true, and you can definitely learn from her as well, but at the same time have a great time and have good laughs. I mean, the way she does her performance is not scripted or anything. You know, she doesn't remember much. She just, you know, when she goes on stage, she just goes with the flow of the audience, and points them out. And yes, if you ever attend one of her shows, she may just talk to you. She might just like, I wouldn't say like make fun of you, but she's like, definitely you will learn something from her, like no matter what age you are. And I just think she's just, oh my gosh, she's so funny. It'll be hard to like express like how she does it, because you're gonna have to watch it for yourself. So if you could just search it up on YouTube, my goodness, I'm just so glad that I met her, because now she's making it big right now. Like she's slowly becoming well known right now. And at the time that I met her, she was just starting off, and so she's she's getting up there. And she was on I think Snoop Dogg's one of Snoop Dogg's shows, and the episode it's called Not Skinny Not Blonde, and there are 5 parts of this of her performances. So I encourage you to watch all 5 parts. It is just amazing. That's what I recommend. If you want to have good laughs while you're at home in quarantine, this is definitely the comedian to listen to. So shout out to Monique Marvez if you'll be listening. If you are listening, that's great. Shout out to you. She also does podcasts as well. I think this is like one of the reasons why I'm pursuing this right now, is kind of like, it's right now it's just for fun, but like one of the reasons why I enjoy doing this is because of her, because she does podcasts too on her show. She has her own show on an AM radio station up in Los Angeles called KFI AM, and she I don't know, I don't even think she's doing that I think she's doing like full-time comedian. She's a full-time comedian now. But it was just so great, getting to meet her in person, and now she's like blowing up right now on YouTube. Oh my goodness, like every person that I meet now is like getting famous. I'm getting jealous. So yeah, there's that. Really sweet person, and yeah, I admire her so much. She's like my own mother. It's like she'll definitely like look after you, and like she understands men. She does. Like she really understands what men think and all that. So shout out to her. You'll definitely notice that in her performances. All right, so here's another thing that I found interesting on the net. So Disney Channel, I've been watching a lot of like Disney Channel like TV show theme song throwbacks because I'm really that bored. So there's like if you search up on YouTube again, like Disney Channel theme songs that will definitely make you nostalgic for sure. Like these are shows in the 90s and the early 2000s that I really enjoyed watching, and it just really takes you back to memory lane. It really does. And I remember those good times watching those shows, especially back in the 2010s, and all that. So yeah, if that's something that you wanna search up on YouTube, then yeah, definitely you'll feel the nostalgia and you'll definitely miss your childhood. You might even cry. So heads up. Those are good times, definitely. Yeah, I haven't been keeping in tabs with what Disney Channel has been putting on with their shows because I don't even watch that anymore, let alone Nickelodeon. I don't even watch Nickelodeon that much anymore. I mean, like, the only show that I really like on there right now is SpongeBob. I don't really think they have any sitcoms on there or any shows like, iCarly or Big Time Rush or Victorious. Like those shows. Those are my favorite. No, those were like, 2010, 2011. Those were the days. And you know what I'm talking about if you know that. Also, did you guys know that the iPhone SE is out? Woohoo! Looks like I won't be buying that anytime soon. But Apple did release what's called the iPhone SE. I don't see what's the difference between because look, to be honest with you, I have the iPhone 6, okay, and it still works just fine. And if it ain't broke, then there's no point of like getting a new one, right? If you enjoy what you have right now and like it's working perfectly fine and it's not like going but kaputs, and then still it's still usable, so you could still use it. So there's no shame in like having still an old version of the iPhone with you. And so I'm still thankful for my iPhone. But iPhone SE came out. If you guys want to check it out, search it up. Again, like every 2 years, Apple releases a new phone, a new tablet, a new MacBook Pro, like the one I'm using right now. Also, other than that, I've been watching a lot of Shane Dawson conspiracy videos, a lot of Shane Dawson content. Not doesn't have to be conspiracy videos, but I've been, I've just been binge watching a lot of his past videos as well, and they're just so interesting to watch over and over again, kind of like a Netflix show. So shout out to you, Shane Dawson. Oh God, I love him so much. He's just so funny, and I love his content and what he does, and because it's just so interesting to watch, and you just get hooked so easily. So me and Sarah enjoy watching him, but by the way, and we love his conspiracy, videos. We just love to listen to the stories that he makes, and that any conspiracies that he found out like that he would like to share, and he's got like tons of views there. So we're one of them. So shout out to Shane for that. Also, just recently, it was Earth Day, so happy Earth Day, Earth. You are now standing on this planet, and this planet, I really adore this planet so much. I love Earth, and it deserves its current situation right now, with the air quality all around the world improving because everyone's been staying home, and so Mother Earth is just so happy right now, and it's just I don't know. It's just I enjoy knowing the fact that our air quality is much better and that there's less CO2 emissions in the atmosphere. That's just so cool to know. And you can actually feel it in the air. The earth is recovering, guys. And the animals are thanking us. Because to be honest with you, I think we are the virus. If you think about it, we plague this whole planet with trash. and a bunch of CO2 emissions in the air. And so it's good to see that things are now being cleaned up, and that, there's less trash and there's less pollution in the air. Yes, Earth is just so happy right now, and I can't thank us enough. And so, despite the quarantine and despite the virus, there are pros and cons. And that's definitely one of the pros, is that we're able to stay home and that the Earth can recover from this. So, yes, shout out to Mother Earth. We love Earth. So, happy Earth Day to you all there. You just celebrated recently. And yeah, really good stuff. Really good content this week. A lot of things to share. So, that's good. So just to let you guys know, we will also be doing these music shows for the TuneIn app. So besides the podcasts that we've been doing all this time, we'll be able to make our own playlist and play them on the TuneIn app for you guys. But you'll still be able to hear our voices in between songs and all that, like what we do with air checks. Again, it'll not be live, but hey, it's something, and it's something exciting that we can't wait to share with you guys. So after I post this podcast, I will be making my music playlist, and it'll be an hour long, and there will be numerous songs on there, and we'll be talking about the artists that I'll be playing in those songs as well. So that's very exciting to know. And I hope to see you guys on the TuneIn app. And of course, we'll let you know when our segments will be posted on there. But everyone will be doing it. And it's going to be an exciting hour just to hang out with us and listen to our favorite songs. So guys, I have now reached the end of my third podcast right here on the Quarantine Life with G-Man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you've been listening lately to our YouTube channel with everything that we post on here, we really appreciate it so much. We really do. And if you have reached this point of my podcast, thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you take all the information into consideration with Grossmont and all their activities and future events, virtual events. And that hopefully that's helpful for you guys if you're a Grossmont student. Because we are representing the school through Griffin Radio. So definitely proud of that. Also, if you guys haven't listened to Sharice's and Thomas' podcast called Griffin Goalpost, please do that as well after this. Check them out if you're into sports. Also, Nicole, Manny, and Daniela's podcast, The Vault. They talk about random things on there. And you'll enjoy listening to their podcast. It's so funny. And yeah, you'll just have to listen in because the trio, they are just so funny together, cohesively as a team. They talk about really, really random things. And it's not scripted. And it's just really worth listening to. So hopefully you can do that as well. Also, hopefully you guys can listen to The Social Distant by our very own DJ Israel Rodriguez. He has numerous guests on his show. Some of them are musicians, and just recently one with his friend, a longtime friend of his growing up. So hopefully you guys can listen to his podcast as well. Very interesting stuff. And there are also original music played on his podcast from his friends, as he's also a musician as well. So shout out to him, and shout out to the rest of our Griffin Radio gang. Our team has been working tirelessly and effortlessly to bring you content during this time. Also, you can listen to our Giovanni and Sarah podcast. We've been posting lots of content recently, and we can't wait to show you more as we have more special guests come onto our podcast as well. So our next special guest on our show will be, drum roll please, because you've been waiting all this time to hear it, is Rick Morton from Z90. Yay! We can't wait to have Rick on our morning show. He is a local celebrity here in San Diego, a local DJ. Everyone knows him from the Phone Jibba, a segment in the morning on Z90. Very excited to have him. And we can't wait for you to hear that podcast. That is going to be one heck of a podcast, guys. We got a local DJ a local radio DJ to guest on our program. That's just amazing. When we got in contact with him, and I was with Sarah, we were FaceTiming one night. We were just so excited to hear him approve of it. And we can't wait to have him on the show. We're going to talk about cool stuff. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for you guys to hear it. Also, comment below your name and where you're listening from. If you guys want a shout out, you can also DM us on our Instagram page. And so, speaking about our social media pages, you can follow us on Instagram at Griffin Radio SD. You can follow us on Facebook as well and like our pages, Griffin Radio SD or Griffin Radio 119. On Twitter, you can follow us at G_Radio SD. Then we have a website that you can come into, www.grossmont.edu/GriffinRadio, and you'll be redirected to our temporary YouTube channel right here. Or if you want to contact us and chat with us, feel free to do that at gradiostation119@gmail.com. You can also submit your shout outs there as well. And we are also back streaming on the TuneIn app, like what I mentioned. But those programs will be recorded. You can also still listen to us, and we do recommend you still listening to us right here on our YouTube channel. So now there are multiple platforms that you can listen to us to. And we do really appreciate it. So, with that being said, have a great rest of your day, week, and stay safe, guys. Wash your hands, keep your distance, and enjoy nature. Peace out, Griffins. I'll see you next week, right here on The Quarantine Life with G-Man. Bye-bye.